When should you buy your cards for Sorcery? I don't know, but we're going to chat about what the market has said in the past. Well, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. A little bit of a different background here. This is my favorite artist, Jacob Raza. I can't pronounce his last name. He's Mr. Werewolf over on Instagram. Scythe, one of my favorite board games of all time. I would love to see some of his artwork in Sorcery. I don't know if he does digital art or like actual classical art. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section about what an artist you would like to see in Sorcery. Today, though, we're going to be talking about the market and historically when is the best time to buy singles for trading card games and how does that apply for Sorcery Contested Realm. Before we get there though, I want to highlight a big event series coming up for Sorcery in paper play, actual paper tournaments that we are hoping to have amazing turnouts to. We're going to pump right now the Courtesan Cup, the Parmesan Cheese Cup, everybody. It is coming in June and we're having some qualifiers. We will have a qualifier at Game Grove, my store here in Hurricane, West Virginia. It is pronounced Hurricane, spelled hurricane. So that's going to be March 9th is the qualifier for the event. That's in, I think it's the last weekend of June. All the details for the Parmesan Cheese, Courtesan Thias, the Courtesan Cup coming out in the future. But our event is going to be on March 9th and it will be an alpha foil packed with the devil. And then the top 8 get invites to that cup, of which the big prize will be a foil alpha Courtesan Thias Parmesan cheese, baby. So really cool stuff coming up. I'll leave a link in the comment section. The pricing is we're gonna add additional pricing to stuff, but that's the bare minimum pricing that you're seeing right there. So March 9th at Game Grove. Okay, I'm done pumping the event. Hopefully you're able to make it out there. So when is the best time to buy cards? Historically, we've had 30 years now worth of data for trading card games. You've seen here on my channel, we have often talked about different games and done different things, and we have an experience now of what happens with trading cards and the markets and that kind of stuff. Now, none of this is set in stone, but historically, we know this, and this is the best fact of the matter. This one is set in stone, that the best time to buy is when others are selling, right? And the best time to sell is when others are buying. And let me first off say, I understand how stock market that sounded, but this applies to everyone who wants to be on a budget for trading card games or who wants to make money investing in trading card games. It doesn't matter where you fall on the spectrum, saving money is good. It's a win for you to spend. If a card's gonna be worth $15 and you're able to buy it for $7, that is a win for you. And that is the goal of the channel, not just to like invest and speculate on stuff, but actually to help players get cards cheap as well, because that's a win. If I can help you save money, maybe you want to support, maybe you want to keep watching the content, whatever you want to do. Maybe you buy boxes. It's great. So saving money is good. So the best time to buy is when others are selling. This isn't rocket science, right? The best time to sell is when other people are buying. So how do we know where that is? Well, historically in trading card history, now this isn't going to be perfect for Sorcery, we'll talk about that at the end, but historically the best time to interact with those things are when new sets come out. Okay, when a new set of a trading card game comes out, it throws the market into a tizzy. Like the market just doesn't know what to do with itself. Everyone's excited for a new thing. Nobody cares about the old thing. It just throws itself in this crazy atmosphere of which the market just doesn't know what to handle and doesn't know what to do. And that provides the best opportunity, in my opinion, to acquire and pick up new things. Now why is that, right? Like, why is that? Well, it's an eyeballs thing, right? And I'm a firm believer that the number one thing that matters in any of these card games is how many eyeballs are on the card game. In other words, if a lot of people are watching Sorcery content, are watching box openings and gameplay content, then the market's going to go up on those things. They're going to be interested in, it's going to reach a wider audience. Well, on a micro level, inside the Sorcery community, if all the eyeballs are on a Thurian Legends, the next set, all of a sudden they're not on beta or on alpha. And we kind of saw this with beta. When beta came out, you saw a little tiny window of which a lot of alpha stuff was a little cheaper. We're still seeing it a little bit on the non-foil cards, but particularly the foil cards, that was an opportunity that I took to pick up a lot of the alpha foils I needed because everybody was focused on money going to beta. And I'm talking the pre-order window, that, kind of right on release, a lot of people were looking to see how can I get more beta fast. And they kind of weren't focused on alpha foils. And so for me, that's when I picked up a lot of the alpha foils that I needed for my collection. So you have the market in the eyeball direction, right? You've got things focused on the next set, but then additionally, you've got this kind of idea that stores also need capital. And I'm not sure how much we saw this in Sorcery Beta, because frankly, the release of Sorcery Beta was a little bit different than your average TCG. Like, we didn't see a massive restock. We didn't really see any restock on Sorcery Beta from a store perspective. And so it didn't kind of chalk up to this classic example of stores needing restocks or needing money to continue to support and buy the product. And so what happens though, typically, and I think will eventually happen with Sorcery, so maybe this is a little bit longer out, is that when stores order 400 boxes or 200 boxes or 20 boxes, depending on the size of their store or whatever it is, they need the capital in order to put that out. And so when they put the money out, oftentimes they'll take other product from the back stock or previous inventory or singles, or the owner will take one of their decks that they've had sitting around and just say, okay, well, I need some money and I'll sell the cards, I'll sell the decks or whatever to get capital. And for the average trading card game, again, we're talking about Sorcery here in a minute, but for the average trading card game, that capital is pretty rare for stores. There's not a bunch of stores that are just free money, YOLO, have a bunch of money to spend. So they need to acquire more capital. So often they will sell a back stock of product, and that adds, again, more stuff to the market. I do believe we will see some more of this with Arthurian Legends. In other words, when Arthurian Legends comes out and stores have to put up the bill to pay for it, you may see some stores who have beta boxes sitting in the back or whatever say, okay, now it's time to go to the market. Now, this is where things get really weird with Sorcery, is I don't know how many stores have a back stock of beta. Like, there wasn't an opportunity to get a back stock, to have boxes on the shelf, to have things out there. There was no chance for that to happen for the average store, for any store, really. For any store that's getting product from distro, there was no restock window. And so I'm not sure how much product is even really at back. We may not see this happen in Sorcery until they get more of a traditional release structure and that kind of stuff in the future. But I do think it will be applicable to the market of singles. Now, this is where it's really important to distinguish things, right? There are people who have a bunch of beta and alpha singles who are consumers like you, who will also need money when Arthurian Legends comes out. When Arthurian Legends comes out, they'll start saying, oh man, I really want to, if I could pick up 3 cases instead of the 1 case of beta that I picked up, I could do really well. I could have a full set. I could open up a bunch of cards. It would be a lot of fun. And so they pre-order 18 boxes of Arthurian Legends, and then they come out and they say, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. I need to get some money. So what do? They take their extra beta cards or extra alpha cards and they put them on the market. And everybody is focused on what? Arthurian Legends. And so those cards just sit on the market and they kind of erode a little bit of value. And that is, in my opinion, the time to start picking up cards. That is, in my opinion, the time to start picking up things. Always looking towards the next set. And so one of the things I fall into in my own world is just like having to have things done, just like needing to finish the collection. It's like an addiction I have. You've seen it. You've seen it on the channel, right? It's this addiction I have on the channel. But a more healthy approach to collecting is to take a step back and kind of try to time the market a little bit and say, okay, maybe I don't have to get this done first, right? Maybe I don't have to finish my non-foil alpha set or my beta play set or whatever. Maybe I can just work on my decks and enjoy what I have. And then, when the market is focused on something else, then I can pick up the cards I need. And having less of a FOMO attitude, fear of missing out attitude, and more of a patient looking at what the market's doing and identifying that there will be a time to pick up these cards in the future, and maybe I can save 10, 15, 20% by doing so. Now, I'm all for hearing your comments in the comment section about the differences in your opinions on this. And I do think Sorcery is so unique right now in the way that they are doing distro, the way that they are, promoting the game and bringing out product is not traditional. We are not seeing a specifically traditional sense. We're gonna see a bunch more beta boxes come from alpha investments. Obviously, Team Covenant still has boxes in stock, so who knows what this looks like from a beta perspective, but I would love to hear your conversations in the comments. So you guys have yourselves a great day. Remember, the Cortesian Parmesan Cheese Cup is coming up in June, and you will be able to qualify, the top 8 will qualify for that and the awesome prizing that goes with that on March 9th at Game Grove. You can participate in that, where we will have a alpha foil Pact of the Devil for a big prize, as well as a bunch of other prizes as well. You guys have yourselves a great day. Be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.